Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another stream. Actually, right now we're going to have a really fun one. This one is going to be quite interesting. We have a a cool project that we're going to be doing right now. Where's my pens? There's my pens. That's this. Awesome. We're set. So, hi. Hello, my good friends. We are going to be waiting on someone. I believe their name is Daniel Gameboy Peterson. And once we have him live, he is going to be our client today. Ooh, yeah. We have a character sheet that we're going to do. So, essentially, what he wanted was a set of descriptions of a character that will be made into his story or whatever. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to design that for him throughout the whole page. So he sent me a bunch of different things, like shape language, and I asked him for references and what he wants to do. And it seems like his character is here. Let's start on something else other than that, so we can draw on a post-it or something. All right. So what he wants is essentially a character that is about two or three heads tall, kind of like a Mario type of like body proportions. But he also likes the whole look of Vagar and like the little wizards from Final Fantasy. So he wants that, and he wants to be an alien, apparently. So that's going to play a role, and then his hat and everything is going to be like a galaxy. So, and he wants him to ride like a cloud as well. So, this is the general concept of what we're going to be playing around with, and he might have some sort of magical stick. So, that is going to be the very first things that he mentioned. Okay? So, from there, I have to take it and I have to make this character look like it's alive and add some details and stuff like that. So, that is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be learning how to design a character from scratch. And whatever we decide to do with it, like have little magical elements or whatever, we can start adapting that according to what he wants to play with. Now, this is going to be an interesting one because I'm going to have input from the person. Here he is. Baka Bros Entertainment. Hello, my client. Now, if I have any of my mods here today, I would like for you guys to please just pin his questions and his comments for his character as often as you possibly can so that I can keep seeing them, because that's going to be needed within this stream. I don't know if I have any of my mods here right now, but if you do, there you go. That is your job. So, hi. How are you guys doing? So, we just started, and I just started with some very basic design elements just based on the concepts that you asked me to actually touch on. So, this is your first general direction as to where to draw your character. We will design this a little bit more as we get into our design process. But I have an idea already just from the awesome guidelines and things that you sent me as reference. I can now go ahead and just implement more design work rather than worry about having to figure out how things go. And that's why I asked for reference. How do you make things look so 3D? I know how to overlap lines better than most other people. And that sounds weird, right? That sounds like a weird flex. But I know how to overlap a line and make it look appealing. I know how to make this look pretty. So when it comes down to things like drawings of cartoons, it's all about learning how to overlap lines to make it look like things. If you're able to do that, you can draw hands in every position that you possibly want. You can draw feet really easy because that's all they are. It's just overlapping lines. You can draw things like entire body systems incredibly easy by just learning how to overlap some lines. So doing that is going to help you understand why my drawings look a little bit better than most other people's just by doing a simple drawing. But I'm going to rip that little part out because I like the little doodle that we did. All right, so this is our base character sheet. It's going to be consisting of a cloud vehicle. It's going to consist of a magical hat. It's going to consist of an alienish character, so we have to make sure that we make him look like an alien. It seems like he wanted 1 or 3 eyes. Either 1 or 3 eyes. And then, did he ask for 5? Maybe a small star wand, stars in it. Okay, so then he just wants something like this, but he wants the stars inside. So maybe like a galaxy or something inside. So, galaxy wand. So, in order to actually portray all these things, we're going to need to first establish what the character, what do we want him to be like? Do we want him to be happy? Do we want him to be sad? Do we want him to be joyful? So, all right, let me know. This is your first question, Mr. Daniel Gameboy. What is the personality of your character? Is he happy? Is he sad? Is he playful? Say 3 things that your character is. And meanwhile, I'll just outline this a little bit more. So this is not a community-based drawing. This is literally, I'm just literally drawing and my client is watching. That is essentially what we're doing right now. So he paid to be able to have this done for him, right? He is paying the base amount that I normally charge to do a character sheet, which is a page of your my sketchbook filled with concepts for your idea. So cute so far. Yeah, but you gotta let me know character traits. You gotta let me know if he's happy, sad, evil, resentful. Name 3 things. Give me 3 things that the character is so that I can actually draw him in those personality traits. And then meanwhile, I'll start thinking of like the concept for his hat. So his hat seems to be like a wide brim hat. Maybe we're gonna set that. Then it's gonna be kind of like a cone. Yeah, like guys, this is not a community one. So I mean, I guess our client here can actually choose to go with one of your guys' ideas. Absolutely. But he gets to choose which one. Okay, so mysterious, cute, and powerful. Mysterious, cute, and powerful. Perfect. All right. So mysterious is going to be the whole element of having his face hidden is going to keep that mystery. I used to love that from the Final Fantasy mages, and it actually is one of my biggest draws from characters like Mimikyu. You know, like Mimikyu, like the Pokemon that's kind of like hidden underneath, and it also allows you the ability to do something kind of cool, which is combine something creepy with something cute, right? So you have some element of it being dressed like a wizard, but underneath, he might not be a wizard at all. He's like a little tiny alien or mysterious creature from the void. He did mention that he wants it to be like a voidling, right? So maybe that's something that we can implement. The fact that he has a really cute, like colorful galaxy, element to him, like in the hat and everything. Like his hat, everything else is gonna be like a galaxy, type of theme. So it's gonna be very bright. If we combine that with the fact that he is a really dark character and the fact that he is literally just a black hole, then that's really, really cool. So I think that I really, really like that. So let's do that. So that's going to cover the mysterious, and that's going to kind of cover the cute. The powerful, I think, is going to come in the form of his staff. I think his staff is going to be the thing that is going to distinguish him as a very powerful thing. So let's establish that his hat and his head is going to be a relatively big ratio because we want to be able to keep the hat really big on him at any given point. And it's going to be kind of droopy hat so that it covers both of his sides of his head. So let's do a little droopy hat. We'll have the body, and then his little body will be about the same height as his head. Let's try that. Let's see what that looks like. So if you do something like that, that'd be kind of cute. And if he doesn't have to walk because he has his little cloud, like a Nimbus, he did send me a reference of the Nimbus cloud from like Dragon Ball. So if he doesn't have to necessarily walk, that's an even better, like more majestic thing. It's kind of like a chariot, right? So he could just be chilling, his little hands just being little blobs. Keep it simple. Like most of the time when people complicate things too much, that's when they start like not being able to tell a story with their things, right? If I can do this and just draw a little blobby and then design whatever staff he has, the detail in the hand is going to be insignificant because I don't want it to even be shown. I want the detail of the staff to be what is important, not necessarily anything else. Like if the detail here in my hand is going to take away from the detail in my staff, the focal point that I want, well, then it's going to essentially not work as well. Wait, what? He also picks up cars that fall off the track with a fishing pole? What? Okay, so I do kind of like the idea of the whole alien concept being from one or three eyes, but, hear me out here. Hear me out. What if he's not necessarily an alien? Right? So, because I really, really like that. I really, really enjoy the whole concept of the glowy eyes, but if you just draw one of them, it's not going to look very good. Right? It's just going to look kind of like, oof. So I'm going to make this a profile now. And as a profile, his little hat would droop even more. So now it's a profile shot. So now he has a little galaxy staff. He has his little robes that could also be galaxy themed. And then he has his little cloud, his little galaxy cloud. Right? And that's how he travels. He's going to be floating in space. Whee! Let's add some color. Let's see what this looks like. He does seem to really enjoy the concept of purples and blues. So let's go with some purpley blues. The whole effect of galaxy and stuff like that will be essentially added later through digital work. That would be like just masking that section and adding like a galaxy in there if you wanted to. Or if you wanted to really paint a galaxy in there, that'd be really easy to do if you just mask it around. So the actual aspect of galaxy looking thing is going to be kind of simplified right now because that's not that's not the important part of the concept, if that makes any sense. The important part is actually understanding how the characters develop, not how the character looks. And that sounds really weird to say, but it's something that needs to be reminded often of people. It's not always the most important thing to make something look pretty. It's something to be made to look accurate. If you can make something look accurate, that's much more important than drawing something that just looks pretty. And as you get better and you understand that concept more and more and more, you're going to actually understand that more as you develop your skills. As you get better and as you like progress in your career, you're going to eventually realize how important it is to be precise rather than quick and rather than like just pretty. All right, so time for the client time again. So far, we have come up with 2 versions of your little character for you. So far, do you like the process in which it is going, or would you like some changes done to it? And this is when we wait for our client. Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. Worried about AI making what? Oh, why are you worried? Why are you worried about AI? AI is not going to take your job, dude. AI is not going to take your job. AI is only going to take your job as much as Photoshop's going to take your job. Okay? Like, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Yeah, we can make the galaxy glow. Like, doing all those effects is going to be much easier just digital, and I'll bring my iPad. Once we decide on the look that we want, I'll finish one with color. Nah, you're never going to be replaced completely, man. Like, it's just not going to happen. Who's the client? Well, we have our client here in the stream. If he wants to make himself known, I will be more than happy to provide a platform for him. There you go. Baka, bros, understand this is going to be such a fun character for our game. I can already tell. Okay. What I do need from you, though, is to tell me feedback. What I need from you is feedback right now. So if you see anything that you like, you need to let me know. If you see anything that you don't like, you need to let me know. Remember, you have 1 page. So you have 1 page to be able to come up with a concept together. Okay, that's what you're paying for. So any feedback from you is very important. Are you going to be singing? No, I'm not going to be singing. But Wes, now that I have you here, can you do me a favor and every single time that Baka Entertainment says anything, can you please pin it? I'm liking the top iteration the best. Okay, so you like one that's more like a little void tentacle-y thingy. Cool. Awesome. So let's start going with that, and let's implement that into our general shape as is already. I like the whole Tim Burton-ish like creepiness factor to it as well. So that's kind of dope. Awesome. All right, so let's go on to this one, back at this, and let's start doing some iterations for this guy. So, big head. The hat kind of looks like a mushroom on top of the head. So from this angle, you would see everything. The body would just be right here. And then the galaxy would just kind of swirl into nothingness. Now the eyes seem to be on the bottom part of the shape. And he's going to still have his cloud. He's going to have his staff of power. And maybe he has like another hand for like magical stuff or like Jedi tricks or something. He's like bringing his coffee over. So you have that. This is going to facilitate animation incredibly because literally you can just wrap a little void tentacle or something around whatever is coming out. It's kind of like Venom, right? So at that point, it becomes extremely simple to be able to draw him doing things because now it's just a matter of drawing a little tentacle going around something. So that's kind of cool. Let's see, the hat seems to be considerably bigger, and maybe we can give it like a front, like rip. Let's see what that look like over here. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, cool. It gives it a nice little distinguishing feature. Maybe the hat needs to be a little bit smaller. And seeing as it's just going to be a little circle, we need to establish how big of a forehead we want it to be. And if we wanted to have like a collar to his wizard robes. I think a collar would look pretty cool. Yeah, like I'm just gonna give him like a little jewel or something right there. Cool. Awesome. If we add some little like squiggly lines around, you just make them look even cooler, even creepier. And again, this could be like a little galaxy staff with like the galaxy around it. Yeah. All right, let's see. Let's add some more colors. I model all my own characters. Our BFX artist is excited to play with his own 3D model to make it wobbly. Yeah, nice. So I'll try to make like, once we establish like a general look of him, I'll start to do like a little turnaround for him too. It'll make it easier on your character designer, 3D modeler guy. Trust me, I used to have to do these. When the person knows how to make something look like a shape, it makes the designer's job a million times easier. as opposed to having to guess with the shapes that you're supposed to have. I can even grid it for them if you want. So all this inside will be black. I'll have to darken it a little bit more, but so it has a distinguishing shape. This is gonna be Galaxy Magic from the Void. And then, hear me out here. Hear me out, okay? If we want to play a little bit with color theory, and seeing as you want this to look very galaxy-ish, right? We might want to consider leaving most of this coat white, with just like the outs insides in color. So kind of like a reverse galaxy, right? Like a nebula or something like that. And then if we add a different color in there, if we add a lighter color like an orange instead, it just makes them stand out a lot more. So that might be one way to go about creating a little bit of contrast within them, on top of the contrast that comes from just generating darker line work. Yeah. All right. So is this going to be a video game? Oh, I really don't know what he is going to be using it for. But I am here to help him through the process. So if we are going to be talking about 3D elements, let me start designing this in a way that'll be incredibly easy for your designer to be able to make this into a video game thing. Because if I think about drawing this as if it was a 3D shape, I can literally tell him exactly where to extrude every single line. I'm quite confident in being able to explain this in a way that makes a lot of sense to most 3D people. So the connecting points will be as such. About halfway, you create a divot. And right there is where your eye goes. Now the hat will curve around this way and go around. That way it creates a really cute little like back protector slash thing. The head is obviously just colored. And then his little sleeves come from the side of his body right there. Ta-da. Now, he doesn't really need a bottom, so this is just going to be like a flowy type of dress, and a cone at the top is what produces his little collar. His head falls right in here. If you need to make it bigger, you can just make it bigger. You can play around with different head sizes if you want. Different eye sizes as well. So essentially that's his general shape. And then from here, you can have little nubbies as little hands, or again, this could be like Venom, where you just draw little squiggly lines coming out from there. So the character in itself could be something incredibly not like human, you know? Maybe he hides all this behind the hat. That's actually kind of a cool story. Yeah. So, once again, I will ask if you are happy with the direction where this is going, or would you like us to go and revise this a little bit more in a different direction? The cloud can be small, the cloud can be big. Hello, I'm a Japanese manga artist. Hey, hello, Mr. Japanese manga artist. How are you? This could be like a little go-kart. This little cloud. I kind of like that. Where's my post-its? Oh, post-its. Why must you elude me? Where are my post-its? I just had them here like the other day. Did I drop them again? Yeah. Anyways. He-Man Orko. Yeah, a little bit. It's a very similar approach to him. I'm happy where this is going. I'm wondering if he should have a little floating friend. Ooh. Ooh, we'll give him a little floating friend. Let's try a different color scheme. Maybe not touching the edges, doing like the whole. All right, so we have a general idea of his general self. No, I don't like that. I like it more towards the edges. There you go. And then let's add different colors like yellow and stuff to make it look all galaxy-ish. Remember, like I'm gonna take whichever one we prefer, whichever one we like the best. I'm going to take it into Photoshop or Procreate and doing a colored version of it, just so we can have like a finished rendition of him as well. So once we finish this, ooh, maybe the eye. No, that looks evil. No, go away. That looks way too evil. He's supposed to be cute. He looks like Terminator. Okay, so we know not to add white, not to add yellow to the eye. That looks way too creepy. So we will avoid that. Let's see. What kind of pen am I using? I'm just using a Bic. Let's see. So his general head shape is going to have to be this sort of sense, and then it can be ethereal at the top, right? He did mention that he wanted like a black hole at the top of it. So maybe his hat can be like a... It absorbs everything into it. Maybe his name should have been Mesu Roller Worlds. Let's see. What's another way that we could approach this guy? If we want to simplify this guy completely to the point of utter simplification, This could be literally a circle into a circle into a third circle for the cloud. So let's see what that looks like. Circle into another circle. That actually doesn't look too bad. Galaxy powers. And that actually does not look quite bad. His little cloud like a go-kart. I kind of like that. It's like cradling him. You know, I'm a big motorcycle rider, so I ride motorcycles a lot. So it's really cool to like be able to implement a little bit of your like own like knowledge into it, and then like riding the bike would be something like this. If you want to give them feet, I guess that could be one way of doing it. And then we'll draw the other hand doing something over here. And you did mention something about having a little companion. So maybe he's following his little eyeball companion. There you go. Now let's try different colors. Maybe when he's happy, it's more like a yellow. I've always liked the idea of like color changing characters. Like having him be like a little mood thing, you know? It's like, to me, that sounds like super cute every single time that I think about it. Like when I get to make something look like a color changing character. In this case, though, the clothing wouldn't change. It would just be, I guess, his hat. So let's draw the body still purple. That's too much. Let's put some color here. Lift it out of here. The beauty of watercolors, man. Like, it's so nice to be able to use it. Like, it's been a while since I've actually had the chance to, like, you know, draw and, like, just freely create like this. I've been loving Bernie, and this is really fun, too. Yeah, so maybe just a little bit of... it doesn't overtake it completely, but maybe it just like changes a little bit, you know? Some motion lines. And let's add some yellow in there. Cool. There you go. Add a little bit of shadows and darken this up so it contrasts even more. Cool. What is my favorite movie? My favorite movie is Ocean's 11. Ocean's 11 is by far my favorite movie. I've always wanted to be in a heist. I've always wanted to be a heist artist. I wanted to, I used to do things to make things look like heists all the time. So I don't know. It's just weird. I think other than winning the lottery, I'd rather win do like a successful heist. I think that would be like a better and cooler way of dying or something. What is the character's name? Mr. Baka. What is your character's name? So that one, the moment that you add that little line, though, it looks a lot like the Final Fantasy VII character, right? The moment that we add that line, that's the moment that we lose the character to the Final Fantasy VII. So we have to make sure that we don't replicate that to that extent. When we're going to do the hat, we're going to have to play around with the concept of it being an ethereal hat. Literally, like it just blends into a galaxy. It has to be a non-linear hat. I think that's what's going to be the gimmick part of it. I just thought about him 3 days ago. Oh, nice. Oh, you're calling him Voidling? Oh, cool. So I like the idea of the hat just being completely ethereal, like just the galaxy like look to it. You know, so that's going to be the number one thing that I think is going to distinguish yours from a little. Now, the next thing that you can have is literally just have his body be so tiny. And it's literally just a robe, right? Because it's just the voidling itself is kind of like a nether of a creature. Like he's just like squiggles all put together. Like if you ever saw him outside of having his little cute mask and stuff, you'd probably freak out and be like, ah! Like maybe like he's literally like ethereal, like goop. So if you were just to see him without his like robe on, he would just be like this goopy like form like Venom. And maybe maybe his wand is what helps him solidify his body into like these corporeal forms. And he needs his wand in order to not go back to being like a little goop. New here, what kind of colored markers do you use? I'm not using I'm not using colored pencils. It's literally just it's just color watercolors. Just watercolors. Do, 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 do. I like watercolors. Watercolors are fun. All right, so if we just do it with color, how does that look? Because the beauty of this character too is going to be that you're going to be able to just draw like some sort of texture, right? Since the whole hat is corporeal and stuff, and the character is black, you're going to be able to just draw some sort of triangle shape. And then when you go into drawing the head, very minimal line work. That's why you wait until it dries, because it's really hard to draw over it whenever it's like clean. All right, let's wait for a second for it to dry. So let's see. Yeah, there you go. I think we're getting there. I absolutely love the yellow iteration design. Him and his little friends are so fun. Ah, good. See, the other thing that could happen is that his cloud that he travels on could just be like some sort of genie thing. Yeah. Or it could be like literally his body is the cloud. Okay. You can have little hairs if you want to make him look like a little kid. Let's see. So if we made his body into that, all you would have to draw is his little hands and maybe a little indication of the robe. And you could have him having his little ethereal form. Can I create a character in this style? Dog, I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, it can't stop you from drawing anything you want. I think that Mr. Baka Entertainment would be really, really happy if you tagged him in any of the stuff that you did. That way, you know, he can see a little bit more of how this character would develop. Ooh, even cuter. You can have like a patch. And wherever the patch is, you don't see the galaxy stuff. Any advice for symmetry for faces? No, we're not talking about that today. We already did our lesson. Right now, it's more just designing this character for Mr. Baka, which is what he's paying for. And plus, I wanted to do like offer this like service to other people too, because it's really fun for me to do this. So if you guys ever want me to design your characters, feel free, man. I love doing this sort of stuff. Plus, it teaches a lot of people how to do things. So, all right. So let's see. Now that we have a general concept of him, now we got to come up with like a fun way to make his hat look unique. So let's start drawing different hats on little circles. So now that we have our character simplified, it's a little circle with two little circles on the bottom. This is what our character's face is. Whatever we add on top of here is going to probably come at this upper half of his face. By drawing a circle around him, I can start generating like the area in which my face is going to be separated from my head. Then from there, I can decide to do different types of hats by just doing circles bigger than that. And then from there, you go up and then you bend down. But this guy has like gassy forms and stuff. So the general concept of his body is literally a couple circles. Cool. That's going to make your character designing like That's gonna make your 3D modelers really happy, by the way. This whole circle is just black. And just give it a little cheekbone, a tiny bit of cheek. So wherever your midpoint is, just give it a little bit of a dimple. A tiny dimple right there, where the eyes go. It's gonna make it look a lot more appealing. So once you do that, his body is going to be about half the size of his head. So now his whole body breaks down into this. A cone and a little ball. Which equals 1 unit for the head and half a unit for the body. The hat will be depending on what you want to do with it. I'll leave that up to your discretion, but you can make it about as big as the head or a little bit bigger, and then just go from there. You can even have it go down this way. And if you want it to droop. Like I said, if you want to not have feet and you just want to make him like he's riding like a little skateboard or something like that, it could be a little cloud, a little tiny cloud underneath his robes, and then just use the little tail of it to where you want it to go. You could even have it have like little planets and stuff like that, you know, as it floats around. That'd be cute. And since he is a little, you know, voidling, have his little robe have long sleeves, and then just make his little hands make little tentacles that grab whatever it is that he is holding. In this case, a staff or whatever. Which will make it really easy to make him look super stylish and super cool, and at the same time be able to make him look really interesting. So cool. What kind of perm are you using? The hat's hole is not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be there. Corrections. I'm just using watercolors and ballpoint. That's all I'm using. And also his hat is ethereal. So maybe purple means he is calm. Maybe everything has like a base like color, so it could be just his base color being purple, and then every other emotion can be every other color could be used to adjust to whatever mood he is in. So like red could be like anger and stuff like that. But I think his base color, I think he wanted him to be like galaxy themed. You know, so it's not necessarily going to be purple. I'm just drawing purple because it's the easiest representation of that. And I would later on go in with Photoshop or Procreate and add the actual appropriate color where the purple is. Yo, yeah, so, you know, you guys can always hire me to do these character designs for you. That is what I'm really good at. His robe needs to be a different color though. I kind of like the concept of white on purple. White on purple looks really cute, but yellow would just probably stand out more. Yeah, yellow would probably stand out more. And then, little galaxy right here. There you go. Yeah. See, I'm liking that. I'm liking that. So, you might make that one into the final one. But we have a lot of time still to play around with ideas. So, Mr. Baka Bros Entertainment. So far, we have created a magical little wizard with tentacly like things coming out, and he rides a little Nimbus cloud with a little galaxy staff. We're trying to come up with an actual concept behind him, and we have eventually landed into drawing him into a little black little ball. Oh, and their companion. So we haven't come up with their companion, but their companion could be like a little creepy eyeball that has little wings, like a little demon or whatever. Or it could be a little dragon. That'd be cute. A little galaxy dragon would be really cute. He breathes galaxies. And his wings are galaxies too. That would be, but I think the companion is secondary to the actual process of coming up with the actual main. So if we focus on the side character, we're going to get sidetracked from it. So I need feedback from our client, Mr. Client. I would like some feedback now, please. If you can please let me know what direction you would like this to go on. If you would like any changes, if you would like anything else, let me know. What if the secondary character is something you can unlock after playing for a while? Oh, like a kind of like a Tamagotchi or like a Pokemon? Where do you get the white pen? This is just a, what is this one? A Hue white liner that fell apart the moment that I took it out of, so I wouldn't recommend it. Paint or brush from what? All right, we're going to continue drawing some more versions of them since we are not hearing from our client. I love this new iteration of the yellow one. The wiggly hat is a lot of fun. Could you play with a what? Could you play with a tornado spinny hat? Okay, tornado spinny hat. Cool. So he likes the yellow one, so he likes this one. So that's going to be a scoop hat. A scoop, like a Pringle. And then the hat, he wants it to be like a tornado? All right, that works. That kind of looks kind of cool, actually. And then if we make this like ethereal too, like galaxies, it's just. Let's see. There you go. Let's see what that looks like. Wait for it to dry for a second. How much is it to commission you to do a full page? Do you mail the page to the client after? No, you do not get the page mailed to you. You essentially get you get high resolution images of every single drawing within the sketch page. And if I'm feeling like I really, really love the concept, I tend to just do a quick rendering of it digitally so you can have a clean version of it as well. So that whole page and the digital is normally extra, but the page of design work through a stream, it's $200. So it's $200 to get the design work done. Let's see. So that's a scoop. The hat, how big do we want it? About half, so about here. And then we have one eye. Then we have the other eye. And we have the little cheek. Where do you get your brush from? Oh, dude, I use thrift shop stuff. Like, dude, like I thrive. Like, I literally make it a point to use the cheapest, most like conventional shit ever. Why? I have access to all the expensive markers and stuff like that. That have been sent droves of that shit for me to test and stuff. But I don't like drawing with things that not everybody can get. Right? I love the idea of making sure that every single thing that I ever do can be done by everybody that watches me. And that is going to be something that I love, like, knowing. So I normally use really cheap materials like big pens and simple watercolors that you can get like at the dollar store and stuff like that, because that is essentially what I think you can get everywhere. Anybody can afford that. Anybody can afford $2 worth of materials. And with those $2, you can fill a whole sketchbook up. So just knowing that you have access to ability to do that anywhere you go, anything you want to do, you can sketch anywhere else and be happy. And he's eating a pizza. With a simple crayon, you can do wonders. Yeah. If you know that it's not the art material that's limiting you, then you tend to look inward a little bit more too. Right? You end up thinking, like, hey, maybe I should study a little bit more of anatomy and perspective. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. Yeah, it's just weird sometimes, man. Any brand of brush? Yeah. I mean, what's the brand of this one? Does it have a brand? It is called Push. No, this is like the most generic thing in the world. Like, you can just go to a 99-cent store and probably find them. Okay, so let's try some more tornado hats. And he liked the yellow one, so let's go with yellow. We're gonna start going with a little more yellow. So like oranges and yellows. All right, so the problem that you're going to run into, especially having a yellow hat though, is that it's going to resemble very closely the color scheme of the character from Final Fantasy VII. So that already has two things going for it that is going to affect your ability to be able to market this as your own original character without anybody thinking you're copying it. I'm going to say this straight off the bat, right? So I'm not one of those people that's like, yes, you should do this, you should do this. Oh, and then like doesn't give you any feedback that's going to cause you issues later on. No, that's not my job. My job is to help you, not to hinder you down the line. So my suggestion is that we change it. If we want to go with the yellow color scheme, you're going to have to change it a little bit. You're going to have to change it in a way that it is not going to be necessarily just a black face little character. You're going to have to give it a little bit more expression to make it look apart from that. Also, if we go with the golden cloud, that is going to be very reminiscent of the Nimbus cloud, which is perfectly fine because a lot of people don't really even like necessarily watch Dragon Ball or have watched Dragon Ball, normal Dragon Ball in like forever. So I think you're pretty safe with doing a little galaxy cloud in the shape of a Nimbus cloud. I think that's going to be perfectly fine. I don't think anybody will do anything or say anything or even care. But Final Fantasy fans are different, man. Final Fantasy fans are way different. So I would highly suggest that we think of a different way to approach the hat if we do that. Okay, so this is going to be the just general shape of them. Let's zoom out. And again, let's pat it down dry. I like the effect that gave. Very gassy-ish. It's kind of like it's fading, like. Okay. And then, let's see. What can we do here to make it look really cool? We can make the head really tiny, but then it's not going to look very good. It's going to be the edge. I'm going to draw some guidelines to make it look even more ethereal-ish. Then this is going to be, let's see, mysterious, cute, and powerful. You did say powerful. May give too much of a ghost feel, perhaps. Yeah, if you draw him green, it's going to look kind of like the Slimer from Ghostbusters. So it might not give the effect that we want. Let's see. Let's see. How do we still keep a mysterious look to him without giving him a black little wizard look? I still want to give him like the whole tentacly arm thingies. That's really cool. I like that concept. Him being like a void thing, like just coming out of the robes and stuff. I really like that. So I don't want to change that. And I also like the concept of like his little body, like literally becoming his little cloud, right? He's riding his whole body like a little skateboard. So that's really, really cool. So I like that. He does need his staff, but we'll draw the staff in a second. So how do we make this a little bit different by keeping still that same stylization? This is gonna be all galaxies and planets and stuff like that, right? That's all that's gonna be. And I'm gonna have to taper this a little bit and like make it look like it's going in the distance with color, but that's fine. That's not gonna be hard. Middle voidling. How do I make you creepy and cool and cute? I can make it have like stitch eyes. Ooh, we can make that, but check it out. Check it out, okay? Instead of this being black, we just make it like he stole the skull of something. And he's just oozing out of it. Oh, that looks so cool. Ah, that's dope. Oh yeah, like I don't know if the client's gonna like that, but I really, really like that. Yeah, it's kind of like Mimikyu, like a galaxy Mimikyu. So it's just like the opposing version of this, right? So instead of going with the concept of the eyes being the only thing that's white, and him being ethereal, like it's the other way around. His eyes are going to be the ethereal part and the black part. While the rest of his body is just the goopy gaseous form or whatever. That way you have like a little Ani mask type of thing situation, you know? Like, oh, I like that. I might have to start selling skin variations in the game here. No, dude, just contact me for fucking variations of shit. Like, oh, you have no idea. I can come up with things like this for ages. A popular variation of things lately has been just doing like half and half too. That can be another way of doing it. Like Bernie. That looks kind of cool. Boop, boo, doo-doo-doo. I don't know if purple's gonna be the color for him. I think white looked cool. So let's lighten that up a little bit. There you go. All right, so once again, feedback from client time. Mr. Baca, what do you think? So far, which concept do you like the most? half and half purple, like half. Yeah, it kind of reminds you of a Heartless almost. No, I don't think too creepy looking is going to work. Oh man, I still love the yellow version, but maybe purple pink? And the far right bottom one is great too. So this one? The new skull variation is really fun too. Okay, so let's explore those versions more. So we'll make another version of this guy. Right? This guy looks a little bit too much like the version from Final Fantasy. Again, so we need to change this guy a little bit more. We can't give him pants, because if we give him pants, it literally is going to be the Final Fantasy character guy. So we're going to just draw a little Nimbus cloud on the bottom of his robe, just coming out of there. Then what we can do, let's draw a big ass hat. And we'll give it like some rips and stuff. This hat, again, is going to go into the distance and become like a gaseous form. And again, oh, I guess we could add like a little planet or something like that at the end to make it look even more galaxy-ish and to give it a definite end to it. That could be that. Add little galaxies and planets and stuff like that inside. Making him really cute is going to consist of just making sure that he looks really cute. So drawing his eyes really big is going to be a component of it. This is going to look really cute, and it reminds me a lot of the character that I draw for my depression, which is making me really happy. Because if that looks like him, he's going to be too busy coming back to me. So there you go. So now we have a little, essentially we have broken down the character to being like a little sorry piece. How cool is that? So it's now a little sorry piece, and you can draw whatever goop comes out of him. So from here, now we can have two approaches to this. Two complete approaches. We can have it so that the arms are literally little nubbies coming out of the side of a body. Or we can make it so it's little robes, which just makes them little cones. I like the robe. And then we can have a little bit of a black dot to represent that he has hands, even though he can actually technically like come out and grab anything he wants. We just draw a little nubby because we want to keep him nice and cute. Give him a little triangle thingy for like a little t-shirt or something. And now you have literally the cutest little magician voidling. Give him some little. And you can make different voidlings by literally drawing different hairstyles, I guess. So when you release your game, you can make people customize their voidling like that. And that'd be kind of funny. Robe with tentacle fingers. I agree. Is this no? This is not about Bernie, but it kind of looks like it would be, huh? It kind of looks like it would be in the same universe. That's kind of cute. The Bernie purse, and you said pink, so let's try pink. No, pink is adorable. Like a pink and baby blue would look really cute. Oh, get this, get this, get this. Okay, okay, get this. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I think I have a great idea for the robe. So his face is little black dots, right? Like really simple. Now his little robe, it could since he has a galaxy, right? This is gonna be an actual galaxy texture. So how about instead of doing a galaxy texture here or plain, we make it like PJs. You make it like an actual pattern of PJs, like from like a little kid. And that way you can individualize that too. If you ever decide to do skins or something, you can make them have different PJs from different things. And eventually you can have little guys with like little bunny ears or whatever for Easter and stuff like that. That'd be so cute. I play a lot of League of Legends, dude. Hoping to have early access for the game this summer. I'll try to get him a suit. Yeah, that'd be so cute. Now, this hat is a little bit smaller than the other one. So if we make it bigger, we match it. So what would happen if we make this guy? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Let's make the hat the black part, and then we make him the galaxy. Ooh, hold on. Let's see. Hold on, hold on, hold on. So it's technically him. He's like a little cloud, right? And he's fitting inside of all the stuff in there. So that could be an approach to it. Where he's the one filling inside because he's kind of like a gassy form. So it could be the opposite. Like he could have all the galaxy stuff inside of him. Right? So he could be like the crystal sphere, right? Where he's the one that's glowing and everything else is just normal colors. That could be really cute. And that would differentiate it from the other ones too. So making it like a crystal ball with two little eyes. And you have your little robe. Oh, that's really cute too. I think that's cuter actually. I think that's way cuter. And then he has his little gas cloud that could match whatever color cloud it is inside of there. So he's kind of like a rocket. And then he has his little nebula. There you go. See, I like that. I like that a lot. The notch of the hat star. Then what? The notch of the hat, a star, then the brim, a swirly galaxy. Okay, so this is a swirly galaxy. And then a star over here. Okay, that actually works. Not the brim. The brim can't be colored because the moment that I add color to this, then it takes away from this. So that is a basic rule of contrast, Wes, and that's something that I haven't taught a lot of people. You need to learn where to focus your detail and where to focus your contrasting shapes that create focal points. If you can't throw detail everywhere because then nowhere has a focal point. So understanding that something with a plain texture next to something that's really colorful and very, evocative is going to create a nice contrast, is going to just be like help you create more of a visual to the elements that we want. If we don't want any sort of detail to be placed on elements like the hat, because really it's not that relevant compared to what the colors and the details of the face would be, that's why we don't do that. That's kind of cute though. Let's see. From the side, he would be like this. He would have his eyes about half the way up. The hat would go from one side to the other, have its little ledges, and his face would... His body was probably lean a little bit forward so that the cloud could actually be used for movement. Right? It could be like just gassy forms, just kind of like a trail, like a snake. That'd be kind of cool. Then again, we're going to have all the galaxy stuff inside of here. And he'd be pushing forward with his scepter. I like that. That's cute. You should draw him drinking a bottle. A bottle of what? Can you teach us how to use shading for form later? Right now, I'm working on this for a client. So I'm just really enjoying doing this live, actually. So anytime that you guys want me to work on your projects live, this is going to be a really much preferred. I will gladly probably take on a lot of projects if I get to do them like this. Because then the clients can't hide. Like what I love about doing things like this is the clients can't hide behind emails. They have to give me feedback immediately. Okay, so far we need another round of input, please. So now we have gone through a couple iterations of the character. So now we have gone from little magical hat, color, and cloud, and magical cloak, and then with a big scepter, and then slowly we transitioned into a more ethereal type of form for our character shape. Then we started trying to see what it would look like if we inverted it, and it looks a little creepy, kind of looks like a lizard. Then we simplified this concept down, the one that he liked the most, and then we are trying to make him a little bit more unique in the form of making it more like unique so it doesn't look like the Final Fantasy VII character. So we have come up with two iterations for him. We have the one that's a little demon black, like Mimikyu thing, or we can have like a little glowing orb one. Kind of, yeah, this one's like BB from Final Fantasy IX. So the iteration of them is going to be our version of them. So I need a little bit more feedback from our client. Meanwhile, let me draw one more bigger version of this guy. You want to give him a hug? Is he a good guy? I don't know. We haven't really depended. Like, just because he's cute does not mean he's good. Gotta run. Thank you, Wes. Have a wonderful day. You have a lovely evening, my friend. So inside of here, we'll draw galaxies and planets and stuff. Remind me of Casper's, kinda. Yeah, if you guys have like, if you guys ever want to get an adoptable or something like that, let me know, man. I love doing those things for people. But those aren't free. So let me know if you guys want one. But they run around, character sheets will run around $200 as well as doing things like this live. Like doing a page of my sketchbook with your concepts in mind as we develop it is $200. And then I send you guys the pages and stuff. So not like the original sketches, but I send you guys pictures of them. What if the galaxy was in his eyes? But then we're reducing it too much. Like if the galaxy's in his eyes, right? Let's make this so you have the actual concept anyways. So if you have the concept of it being like that, then the only part that's the galaxy part is literally just here. Out of the whole character, you kind of lose the appeal of it being like a mystical creature, really. And then it just kind of looks like an alien, which is good, I guess, if you wanted to make him into an alien. But the whole concept was to make him look like this sort of like ethereal, like cosmic lord thing. Which is cute, don't get me wrong, that's cute. Especially if you combine it with just being like the black area, you know? because then the galaxy would stand out like if it was in space. So that could be something that we can touch on, you know, using this, but then having the little galaxies inside. But then again, it's a lot of it. It could be like PJs and then galaxy inside of his eyes. So this could be like normal PJs, which would be kind of cute. What if his hat was merged with? What if his hat was merged with his hat? Huh? What if his hat, his head? Oh, okay. So his head being one big system. Okay, so let's see how that would work. So if we literally had his whole head and no separation between like the color of his head and his actual face. See, the problem with that is that there's going to be very little differentiation between the top of the head. There's not going to be, again, there's not going to be much contrast. So you're not going to be able to really read it very well. Let's see, let's try it though. I am not one to test something out before trying it. So let's see. Let's flood everything with color. Then use our finger to make it all ghostly-ish. Avoid the middle if we can. Doing this is going to be a nightmare for your modelers, though. Just telling you that right now. So let's say that we had that, and then the part that was a little bit not ethereal. Let's draw the little cloud right there in the front too. Little staff. Add some rings or something to it. A little galaxy at the top. So that could be it. That could be a way of doing it. What is the tool you're using called? The brush is watercolor. It's just watercolor. So, see, like the only issue with this, right? Doing it like that, is that you're going to have to rely a lot on the actual elements of the background being dark to make it look like a galaxy. If you make everything look like that, it's going to just, you're going to have to add a lot of detail to everything. And when you do that, it kind of just loses its appeal. When everything has that special effect, then nothing is really special because there's no focal point. So that's why characters that have that just kind of look like flat to me. So I wouldn't suggest this. If you do enjoy it like that and you do like it like that, I'll do it like that for you. That's your character. But I highly suggest against that. Mostly because it's not going to enhance anything. It doesn't make it look cooler by having more of that effect. It just makes it look a little bit messy. And again, I'm not afraid to tell people that stuff, you know, like that's why they're hiring me. But if you add a little bit of contrast, just a little bit of contrast, you can make it look really cool. And again, you can make characters look really, really cool. By just learning how certain little aspects work. Little tiny things. The staff as a solar system? Well, that'd be kind of cool. The staff have like 9 things going around in circles. Oh, that's kind of dope. So let's see. Let's explore some facial expressions. I think that we have essentially come up with the actual head shape at least. Regardless of what texture we're going to use, I think we have come up with our actual head shape, which is going to consistently be big eyes on a little circle, right? So if we have big eyes on a little circle, this is going to make our life incredibly simple when it comes down to facial expressions. Because facial expressions are going to come down to just making variations of those. Every single variation of that shape is going to be a potential way of drawing a facial expression for this character. So if we do decide to make this guy with the galaxy inside of this, his facial expressions are going to come mostly from his eyeballs. I love the wiggly hat too, to feel more gassy. Okay, so the hat in itself will be, you'll have to do it with texture whenever you're drawing it, right? If you want to get it to look like you want it, you're going to have to grab something like a brush and be able to do something like this for it. Okay? I'm just giving you that heads up. If you want to give it that little gaseous form, you're going to have to require charcoal or something like that to give it that ethereal form. Or the smudge tool and things like Photoshop, Procreate, and stuff like that will also give you that effect. So make sure that you are drawing in multiple colors, multiple layers, and then just make it nice and messy. And draw the back part a little bit more dark so that it differentiates itself from the actual front. And then add a little bit of like a band or something like that, because your hat would actually still have something like that if it's a witch cat or like a wizard hat. And then you can add a charm at the end of it in the form of like a little spinny planet or something like that to give a definite end to the hat. That's just going to be a consistently good trait to have. Your hat is going to go up and down like this, and it's going to be essentially a cone. So when your modelers go ahead and try to design this, this is what they're going to need. They're going to need to know how to be able to break this down into a basic shape. So when they get to the brim right here, that's when you can start getting all gassy again. But essentially this would be a cone. Now, the head would have to fit within this, but it's going to go all the way to the front, and the actual shape is going to be around that big inside of your shape inside. Again, I'm saving your 3D modelers hours of having to fucking guess this shit. Your eyes are going to fit right in the middle, and they're going to be slightly curved. So that means they're not up and down circles, tilted. Okay? That's literally it. Just tilt it a little bit so that it has that angle that you need to make it look appealing. Now, if you darken the top line, it's going to look a lot cooler than not, but that's not something you really need to worry about in the 3D modeling stage. I would suggest adding a little divot to the front right here just to make it look a little bit more appealing. Because this looks cute, but this looks cuter. It's minuscule, but it actually makes a difference. And then the body is going to be about half of the length right here. You're going to bring that down, and then it's going to come right underneath our character shape. That's going to be the body size. And then the cloud, I would say keep it nice and easy and just make it another iteration of the body. Just double it up and then draw the little cloud, doing whatever the little cloud is going to be doing. Thank you. You're welcome. Well, hey, shit, you can always hit me up for any of these. If you have more characters that you want to develop, dude, like I love doing this stuff. This is my thing. So let's see. Now the next thing. Let's try that up. Let's see. We already measured the size of the cloud, the size of the body, the size of the head, and the size of the eyes. The size of the eyes are going to be about 1/3 of the size of the head. So 1, 2, 3. Angle, angle. Cool. Perfect. Now you know how to draw that eye. From the side. 1, 2, 3. You have your eye shape. Perfect. So now that dimple that you add it in the middle, and then ta-da, you have yourself a little bit of a face. Okay? So, boo, my God, he is so cute, I cry. He reminds me of one character that I did before. I did a character from, I was so bored at a job. So incredibly bored at a job, and I came up with like these little characters that had like flames for heads. So maybe you can try that. So I wouldn't mind seeing that as a game. So the way that I had my dude was like, it was like a flame and similar, but he was like a little angrier. So it'd be like, he was like a little meaner, like wow, like a little flame. But what if we did that with your wizard? Like, what if underneath all this, what if underneath the hat, he had a flame? And he was more like, instead of being grungy, he's more like a flame creature. So, but the flame is not a flame, it's the galaxy look that he wants. So now we have an element of, oh, that's cool. I like that. And then you can play around with like things like snake type of feelings to it. So that could be cool. Let's see, let's try that one more time. The thing is, when you do it like that, you can have like little icons for them, right? So it could be kind of like a little flame just floating in space. If you really wanted it to be like that. So, oh, there you go. Well, I guess we can just add a little side of the thing, and then that could be kind of like a hat. His little staff could also be similar. Let's see. That looks pretty cute. So many cool versions from. It's gonna be fun for you guys to decide which one you guys want to do. See, that's really cute too. That looks really cute. What is the watercolor marker thing? It's just a watercolor brush. It just holds water. It's the same as just a normal brush, dude. It's nothing special. But it literally just I'm just using it. I don't even have water in it. I'm dipping it in the bowl. I'm not even using it how it's supposed to be used. Okay, so let's see. Let's explore that concept a little bit more. So if we use that, and then we use a flame. No, this is not going to be on YouTube. This is going to be sent to the client for them to be able to use and dissect it. And then they can use it to, whatever they feel like. It's their thing. They're paying for it. See, if someone ever told you that you can't get paid for drawing in your sketchbook, now you can tell them that that's not true. You're like, I know a guy that does it. And hundreds of people tune in to see him do it. It's uncanny. Well, these are not price per lesson. What I'm doing right now is I'm designing a character for a person or a client that wanted me to design a character for them. And I told them that I would design a whole page of my sketchbook for them, just full of different character sheets, character designs and stuff like that. And then they can just use whichever one they want. They're essentially paying me $200 for one page of my sketchbook. It's like real estate now. Let's see. That looked too much like Deadpool eyes. Nah, don't worry, man. It's not for everybody. It's more of a specialized thing. It's not for people to do like fun things. I don't even take a lot of projects. This is really fun for me because this kind of reminded me of Final Fantasy characters, and that's my favorite game of all time. So most of the reason why I take things is because they're entertaining to me. So, I mean, not saying that your thing wouldn't be entertaining, but It's very rare and in between that I find something that I actually want to draw, much less, just taking on some random person's concept. So don't worry about it. Like I said, it's not meant for everybody. I'm here to make dreams come true. Let's see, add a little bit of creepiness to him. So adding a tiny, tiny bit of darkness to his look might be what we were missing. Just because he's still supposed to be mysterious, right? He's still supposed to be... So maybe doing that. Hold on. Don't ask me why, but my puppy likes to watch Dragon Ball Z. Let's see. Maybe need a little bit more black. Yeah, so it could look like it's bleeding up and it's bleeding down. Oh, that's dope. And then obviously the whole galaxy look thing. Little galaxy wizard. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. Let's see, I don't know about the body though. Maybe the hat brim could be ring similar to the staff as a fun iteration. If you did the flame head, the ring could be... Okay, let's see, hold on. So let me get that straight. So we have the head and you have the flame and you want the galaxy, like rings around it like that. That might be interesting. But you couldn't put it in front of his eyes though, because otherwise it would look like weird. So you would have to start at the sides and it would kind of look like eyebrows. But it would give the character a very interesting look. Definitely would give him a theme. But if you did that, it'd be really hard to add like a hat to him. I guess it wouldn't be if I just did that. That would be an interesting approach. Let's see. This could kind of look like horns a little bit coming out of them. It's interesting. Interesting. Ooh, hold on. Wispy energy from the staff. There you go. The hat is blown away. That's cool. All right, let's see. So we have a few. I have about like fourth of the page left. So I need some feedback from our client again, please. Give me some feedback. Let me know what direction you want to see this go next. And let's continue doing this. So which iteration do you like the most so far? So far here, I'll number them. I'll number them as we go. Okay, that way you make it easy for you to actually give it. So this is iteration 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, let's see, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So you can use those numbers so far as references to give me feedback. So looking at all these here, I'll zoom out for you. Feel free to take a second. I'm going to go grab a piece of water. I'm going to grab a little bit of water. So feel free to look at this and tell me what you think. Oh, hold on. He responded over here. Okay, quick thought for the ring hat. Cool. The ring hat, he wants it to look like this, but he wants the little tip to be that. Okay, cool. So he wants the hat to be like this. So like the rim of the hat to be the ring of the planet, I believe. And then he wants the tip of the hat to come to a little thing like that. Cool. All right, so if you can please send me any more feedback, look at all the other versions that we did and choose what traits you like from each one of them and send them through my Instagram. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to drink some water because I have been talking for a while. All right, so here, I'll zoom in. All right. So, feedback time. You have a guess tonight. Double rings are the symbol of radiation, isn't it? I don't know. Kind of looks like it. I really like the pink one below the skull. The pink one below the skull. What number is that? That's why I gave you numbers. Which one is the skull? I think that's 12. So where's 12? 13, 9, 10, 11. Dear God, which one's 12? Is this one 12? No, 12 is this one. So that's 12. Is that 10? That's 12. No, that's 12. So this one? 16. Okay, so he likes this one. below that one. So this one, this one, this one. I think you meant this one. So I think he likes this one too. And is there any other ones that you like? All right. So there you go. He likes those two. So let's explore those two a little bit more. Both of those have the darker face. We're going to go with the darker face, and we're going to do the little edits that he wanted. The BB staff that you made for the yellow. Okay, cool. All right, so we'll draw the yellow staff. So now let's combine those concepts together. We're going to draw the general concept of our head. Our character is going to have a dark face. That's the one that he liked the most. So it's going to be 2 circles, and it's going to be mostly dark. Now, the hat is going to be in the back end of his actual head. So about like half of his head is going to be cut off, and that's going to be enhanced to the front and to the back, and then to the sides a little bit. And the hat is created. Okay. Whatever brim he wants to have a little galaxy ring. So let's draw the galaxy rings for his hat. And we will have the brim going to the back, being all gassy into a definite end of a little thing like that. His body is going to be minuscule. Both of those are just a little cone. And then both of those have the cloud being about the size of their body. So about this big of cloud, and then it has a little trail. Whee! Okay, so that's going to be version 1. Let's color this guy in. And at the end, I'm going to give you a choice to choose one of them so I can do it digitally really quick in front of you in the iPad so that you can see what it would look like fully rendered, and you'll have a nice little finished piece for them. So keep in mind, you only get one digital version of them. And it's going to be based on my rendition of what I think he should be, based on all the feedback that you have given me. Okay? Yeah, that's cute. Let's see. Yeah, that's really cute. That's adorable. I'm gonna have to fix the hat a little bit so it doesn't end up going behind them, because it's gonna still just end up running into the cloud. There you go. So this would be essentially the very basic concept of what he really liked. Cool, he really likes this. Awesome, let's make a couple more versions of them. So this one would be version what we come up with, 23. This one's version 24. Let's draw a couple more based on that general like concept of him. Now he doesn't always have to have his hat up, right? His hat is a wizard hat, so if he looks up, it's gonna dangle down. Let's see. If his little cloud is here, his little tail, his body would be right there. There you go. It's kind of cool. Yeah. Well, he seems very happy with what I'm doing for him. The thing is, like, like when you actually care, when you actually like take the time to understand and like want to make a character come alive, that is the difference between a person just drawing something for you for just getting it done and a person that actually wants to see their little creation come to life. Like in my opinion, I find this to be incredibly helpful. Incredibly useful to be able to give feedback live to someone before, this is even more important than getting just a really cool finished piece of artwork. Like it's understanding that you put a little bit of what you wanted in the process of actually creating the design itself. And sometimes that's invaluable, and not a designer can do that with you. It takes a person that can actually draw live to be able to do stuff like this. And a person willing to tell you that what your designs that you're choosing, that they're wrong. Like, you can't have a designer that's just going to be a yes person, because that yes person is going to lead to you not drawing good designs. Because unfortunately, a lot of clients don't really know what they're doing, and they don't know what they want either. So you guys need to trust us. You guys need to trust your designers and know that we actually know what we're doing. This is my passion project game. I've been concepting chaos card free. Oh, that's so cool, man. This is going to be my main character. You know that, right? Like, you're going to give me access to the game, and I'm just going to wreak havoc with this character. I will be the number one Galaxy Boy, or whatever you call him. Galaxy Voidling. Galaxy Boy the Ling. Get it? Get it? Do you get it? Are we going to see the digital initial? Yeah. So he really, really liked this one. So I'm just going to make a couple versions of him, and then he's going to get to choose one of the versions of them for me to render it quickly digitally. So this one's 25. So I think we've narrowed down pretty close to that. So the cost of this was $200. It was $200 to ask me to design your character based on a description and loose iteration of references. The thing is, the video is going to be there for everybody to learn from now as well. So it's just a matter of like, you need to let me teach as I do it. If you don't let me teach as I do it, the cost goes up by a lot. So allowing me to do my thing is the reason that I'm able to do that so cheap. Because if it wasn't, then I wouldn't. There's no way I would be doing this for that much. Plus, it's for an indie gamer. You know, it's an independent company. Like, I can't charge the same that I would charge for like Ubisoft or like Microsoft or something like that. You know, it would just wouldn't be good. It's just not right. So a lot of the times I like to help people if I can, fit it in my schedule and I can actually make it like work. But if it leads to awesome things like this, then please, please, please. I love your sketch style. Thank you. I appreciate it. I grew it myself. Let's see, where's my watercolors again? So we can make it look even cooler by just coloring the edges and leaving everything a little bit. That's another approach to it. Interesting. I love it. You are so good. You know, for a very long time I didn't think I was. If you have any quick ideas for the floating companion. Okay, so the floating companion. Now that we have already nailed the character look, right? We have the character design essentially set in stone. Now, we just have to choose the brim hat, of the size of the hat, and stuff like that. But that can be decided at any given point. So, our companion can be a couple different things. So, it has to be something that is equally cute to this guy or even cuter, right? It has to be even smaller than him. I'm guessing that this guy's not very big, right? I'm going to assume that this guy, compared to like a normal human, like if you had like an average human, in my opinion, this guy would be about like this big. Right? He wouldn't be too big. He would just be kind of floating in space, kind of like that. So in my opinion, he's about that big. So his floating companion has to be even smaller than him. So it has to be even smaller, or at the same time, it could be considerably bigger than him. So his magical companion could be anything from something as little as a little floating eye to something as gigantic as a big monster that he summons. So it could be anything like that. I kind of like the idea of the little tiny eye companion though, because then you can have really cute expressions with him. You can have him like literally just floating around, looking all cute. So I think that would be a pretty interesting one. Cuter the better. I will likely be making collectible toys. Oh my god, if you make collectible toys, I demand one version of them for my background. That is not a negotiable. You have now ventured into the realm of it has to absolutely be in my wall now. So just saying, if you make toys of this and one doesn't end up in my wall, someone's gonna get hunted down. Someone will have to explain why Rod tore through someone's door. Little galaxy monsters and stuff. So I think the little floating companion should be something like this. Because it's simple, it doesn't take away from him. And this essentially could like morph into something that he can like make really scary if he wants to, right? Like can make it like gigantic. Let's see his staff, his hat, his cloud. He can just make him like gigantic or something. So you can make his little tiny little thing be like scary as hell. And in all reality, it's just an eyeball too, though, right? It's just an eyeball. So it's an eyeball. So it's squishy. So what is he gonna do? He's gonna like throw it at you, and he's gonna squish you with an eyeball, and it's all gonna be all slimy and stuff because he's an eyeball. So it's still just kind of icky. I mean, I don't think it's kind of deadly or anything, but yeah, I guess he could just make it really, really big, like the size of a building, and drop it on you. I guess he could do that, which would be a possibility. How do I draw so smoothly? Man, I've been drawing for a very long time, dude. Like, this is not my first rodeo. All right, so now we have finished the page. Okay, we have totally finished the page. So we have 26 versions of your character. 26 versions of your character to choose from. Now, it seems like the last ones were the ones that you like the most. So I want you to choose between 20, anywhere from, I'll include the traits that you like if you like these poses more, but choose one of the versions of the ones you like, and I'll finish it rendering it digitally for you right now. Yeah, we were working on Bernie. We're doing some digital work. All right, so it's gonna be up to him. So he's gonna get to choose right now. I like doing this live. I really do like doing this live because it does not. It just makes it easier for me to be able to. Let's see, what resolution do we want? Probably 12 by 12. That's fine. So you can look at them again if you want. What's your dream project to animate for? I don't want to animate. So I like purple blue color, and I think he likes 24. Perfect. So he likes 24. What we're going to do is we're going to go here into Procreate. We're going to take a photo. I'm just going to take a photo of it. Where is it? Cool. So now we have it on our computer. Yay! Super simple, right? So now we can move this shit, use photo. All right, so now we get to work digitally for once. Let me move my camera so that the glare isn't going to destroy my view. There you go. So now we have this little dude, and we're gonna clean him up. So we're going to go into our layers. I'm going to make this layer a little bit less heavy. I'm going to make a new one on top, and I'm going to go into my pages, and I'm going to choose a sketching pencil. I just use the Procreate pencil. I don't really consider too much of this shit. So I don't worry too much about the brushes. I'm just constantly just going in, maybe adjusting the size so it's not too textured. There you go, perfect. I'm going to start cleaning up my drawing by just sketching over my drawings. I'm using it as a guideline, not as a set in stone thing. So I'm gonna constantly erase and get rid of the things I don't need. I'm gonna very lightly just go over the lines that I think are going to be necessary. I'm not trying to get a perfect line. I'm not trying to get like the super cleanest look. At this point, I'm still just refining the idea that the client gave me. So even though in this case, we're not going to have multiple revisions because the digital version of this is going to be kind of like a gift for me, because I really enjoyed it and I wanted to see it finished. Most of the time, if you wanted to get a rendered digital version of this, it would be an additional $50 to the sketch page, just in case you guys are wondering. But by then you have like a color rendition and a clean line work version of your stuff. So sometimes it's worth it if you don't have any idea where to go with it. Okay. Let's close the shape up. Let's fill in. Is the pencil dead? No, the pencil's not dead. Why is it not painting? There you go. Cool. So now we have a couple little hairs in there just to give a little bit of personality. Then we move on to the body, would be the next thing. Now it depends on how dynamic we want to make the body. In this case, he's just going to be holding his staff forward, so he doesn't really necessarily need to be doing much. He just needs to be holding his arm out, and I have to draw the staff matching whichever hole I decide to draw him in. Again, I think we all enjoyed the whole concept of the wand or the voidling being like tentacle, ethereal form coming out of his robe. So we're going to go with that. Let's make this again. Coming out, draw the robe first, so I don't have to worry about anything else. Draw the robe, and then you draw the stick, and then you draw the tentacles coming around it. There you go. There you go. Okay, his little face is also going to have a little dimple. We talked about that. This is going to have a little dimple at the middle of his face. And his robe will probably reach a little bit further down. And I really like the concept of his being really creepy little mysterious character. So I'm going to give it a little bit of dripping texture to him. That's going to just, if he's like moving, which he will in a second, it's going to be like trailing behind him. Like, I kind of like the idea of him being also kind of like this ethereal thing, even though he does have cosmic stuff to him. Kind of like ink. And then that way we can play around with the other arm. It gives the other arm a little bit of life. Because now, instead of just being like a little tiny divot or whatever, it could be like a little hand. But then the hand could be kind of melting. Let's see. So his face would probably be a little bit closer to the side. Let's see, there you go. All right, I'm gonna make this arm right there. Hold on. There you go. That's it. There you go, found it. Yes. There you go. So now we have this, we have the cuff, we have the hand, and we just have yeah. Yeah, it just gives it like a nice little feel of like motion and stuff. Then we go on to the front. And we got to move this back a little bit because we move the whole body this way. So I'm going to just restructure this. A lot of the times, this is what it takes to be able to get your drawings to look really good. A lot of the times, it's going to take a lot of back and forth, like lots of back and forth. And you're going to have to get used to doing that and be comfortable doing that because a lot of the times, that's what it takes to be able to get something to look good. Let's see, we have this arm coming forward. And again, we have the staff. Staff's going to be going this way, and then we'll have the tentacles coming around. As you can see, you'll see that I'm drawing really, really messy. I'm still drawing really, really messy, really, really loose. And the reason for that is because I'm still not 1,000% determined that that is going to be the final outcome for my drawing. A lot of the times I do through iterations after iterations after iterations of drawings until I get to the final outcome that I really, really enjoy. And that's beyond just the sketches, beyond everything else that I've already established. It's about getting that exact look that I want. And that's why digital artwork totally to me just takes forever. And I don't enjoy it as much as traditional artwork. Mostly because it gives me the option to actually delete. If I have the option to erase, I find myself like, I don't know, it's kind of like it's not as fulfilling. All right, so we have our sphere, we have that, we have our cloak, and then we have our body of a cloud. And I'm going to replace those lines with color. Perhaps a slightly larger fluffy cloud, but I love it all. Cool. Let's see. Poofier. There you go. So that looks cute. That looks dynamic. That looks like it has movement. Cool. And then we move on to the hat. Yeah, half circles are just rings in general are a pain to get perfectly done. But if you spend the time practicing and visualizing things differently, you'll get there. Do I want that? Or do I want the hat going back? I think I like the hat going back more. Let's see. Let's go around. Match up right there. But that creates a tangent line, and we don't want that. Tangent lines are bad because they take away from your actual focal points. You don't want tension like you don't want anything intersecting and creating a tension line or like a visual like intersection. What does that mean? Like when things have like matching things, like if you have, for example, let's say you're drawing like an elbow, right? Right. And then you have a line right here for something else that's going on. Like let's say you have a character that has something going on right here. And you have that intersection that there's no division, there's no distinguishable area where two things would either overlap or be able to create depth through overlapping shapes. The moment that you don't have that, I'm thinking of the spring guy next. Okay, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about the other guys after we're done with this guy. All right, so if we're gonna have this, hold on. The shape is off a little bit. So if this is gonna be have a thickness, and this has to curve like a potato chip to make it look good and tight. What's happening with the back end of this? Don't like that. Hold on. I'm gonna have to restructure this side. There you go. That's how you do it. Let me curve it up. And again, I'm gonna make the ethereal looking things with color. Cool. So I don't know if I want the little color, honestly. The hat's already established, so I just need the body. Sometimes less is more. No, I get to do this. And there you go. Procreate pencil. I mean, I just grab whatever tool's there. Like, I'm honestly never really too concerned about what tool I'm using, especially in the beginning stages. In the beginning stages, it's literally just anything that marks that's going to give me a clean line. It could be the like normal brush pen with like a hard edge, or it could be anything else, but it's going to normally be just something that I can draw with cleanly. I'm not concerned with what brushes I'm using at all, like absolutely at all. That is not a concern of mine in the slightest. All right. Now let's add some color to this guy. All right, let's grab a galaxy color. So I'm going to just, actually, fuck it, let's just color it. It's gonna draw it like from memory and stuff, but it's fine. I'm pretty sure that I can figure it out. Textures, let's just draw, I don't know. What texture do we want? Just do airbrushing, soft airbrush. Let's start with light purple. Oh, I'm coloring on the line layer. That's why. Don't color on your wrong layers. So a lot of the galaxy aspect of it is going to come from a lot of the little effects that you add. And the fact that there's going to be a bunch of different dark tones because you're supposed to replicate space. And there isn't much light in space. Except for like nebulas and stuff like that. But if you try to do that completely, it's going to look like shit. So I like to do it slowly. And just build little tiny sections that are going to be my galaxies. And then when you go in with something as simple as a normal pen, let's go with a pencil. It might be the same. It starts looking pretty cool, doesn't it? And you'll just wait until I remove all the other line work, and you're gonna see how really cool it looks. Now let's remove the extra. We need a little bit of that color left. Not too much though, we just need a little bit of it. Yeah, this shouldn't take too much longer. Since it's gonna be all gassy forms anyways, we don't need to be completely precise, and I'm going to make it look like gassy forms in a second. Cool. So now we have that. Now I can draw a little sphere around that galaxy, and then I can change this color to white. Cool. So now let's play with the smudge tool. Oh, this is not it, by the way. This is just the preliminary sampling for that. That's just to make it look like it has. Cool. So you have that, and now check it out. I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna choose that color, and I'm just gonna color the lines the same color as the actual line work. Let's go with syrup. Or even lighter. It could be a little lighter and make it more gassy looking. Let's make this. Can change the color of this guy. Let's see what other colors look like. You said you liked pink, so I can go with bright pink. And this lines, since I haven't really changed any colors except that blue, I can change these lines. Let's see, if I change them to black, it doesn't look good. Yeah, white looks pretty cool. Cool, let's do that. And then I'm going to change back the lines to black, the places that I need them to be black. No, I like that light up. Okay. No, not erase. Actually, that wouldn't be that color. That'd be white. We'll figure that out in a second. Hold on. Okay. And let's duplicate this. Let's hide one and see what it looks like when I do this. Hey. Hey. Right here. Smudgy tool. Now, smudgy stuff. Why is it not smudging? Oh, it's because of the alpha lock. Okay, cool. Smudgy. Let's see what that looks like. That does not look really well. Let's see. Maybe if that with a little bit less of that. There you go. That's a little bit better. Maybe I don't like this. Do I like the glow? Do I not like the glow? I don't know if I like the glow. Oh, we're still missing a couple parts. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Let's see. Final edits. Let's change a couple things. Okay, I like that. I like this. And we haven't even given him clothes. Hold on. Nope. Enough luck. Have a luck, you bastard. Let's see. I have to match that color, right? That one right there. There you go. Yeah, that's the color that I needed to match. So it just looked like the galaxy is flowing. black. Let's see. If we make this a little darker, and we lose that guy. It looks kind of cool though. So what we're gonna do is gonna have to lighten it up. We're gonna have to add a couple little light sources in the form of blue light. Let's make this into an airbrush tool. Make this very light, very big, and add a couple lights like this. Boom, boom. Now this character has a little bit of foreground color. Gonna go in the back. We're gonna make this color in the back. We're gonna make it a little darker, and we're gonna do the same thing. Why is this not coloring over that? Because I don't have the texture over that. Texture. There you go. Little tiny elements can make a big difference. And I think the only difference that I'm not getting right here is that the bottom of this hat is not standing out from the front. So what I need to do is I need to create another layer and make another another tone on the bottom of the hat, because it's not getting picked up as much. Let's erase this. There you go. His body, what type of colored body? Should we give him like a yellow or a purple? It's yellow. Let's see. Look. What color looks best on him? What the fuck? Weird. Let's try baby blue. Orange? Orange, you glad I am here? Well, the colors, I guess, don't really matter too much. That can be changed at any given point. And one last little thing. Okay. Just giving it a tiny outline just to help it out. Because that shape is struggling right there. We said that this is going to be like melting. There you go. Let's change this. All right, so we get one last set of input from our client, and then we get to deliver this. So, speak now or forever hold your peace, my friends. What software am I using? I'm using Procreate. Cool, he's actually enjoying it. So cool. A little bigger. There you go. And one last tone of color with a multiply layer just to give it a nice final go. Cool. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for keeping me company while we designed this little guy. Hope you guys had a blast. I know I did. It was really, really fun. Let's see. Hold on. If you guys enjoyed this and you guys want to join us for some more fun later on, I'm going to be having a little stream with Agnes at 7 o'clock in about like an hour and a half. So I'm going to take about an hour and a half to rest, and then I'm going to jump on here again to do another stream with another person. So that'll be fun times. You guys have a fantastic evening if you guys plan on leaving us. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys had fun. Hope you guys learned a little bit. Hope you guys were able to get a little bit out of this. Actually, that's like my biggest factor is like just knowing that you guys get something cool out of this. Other than that, you guys have a lovely day. I'm going to send these off to the client and he will be happy and satisfied. So I'll see you guys in a little bit and we'll be back with another stream in a couple minutes too. That's kind of cool that I have 3 streams. Yay! Now we're going to do another one in like an hour. Okay, take care. Bye.